So I ordered jeans from this company called Good American because I am petite, and so cleaning jeans for me is a little difficult. But I tried it on, and yes, these are the perfect fit for me. Okay, so this is a size 6 in the straight leg. I love this one. Does that look straight?
I don't, but okay.
Okay, so this is the skinny jeans. I feel like they could be a little tighter, but I think they look great as far as length-wise. I like them. Okay, so for this one I had to change my shirt because it would have just washed the jeans out. So this is straight leg in white denim. And I think this looks really cute for spring. If I wanted to wear like a pop-up color,
you should never wear white.
Definitely a vibe.
You'll never be pure.
Okay, so these are the skinny jeans in black denim, and they fit great. They look great. I'm just one of those people that like don't wear black denim much. But if I ever do, this is a good pair to have. Okay, so this one's another skinny one, but it's in dark wash, and I feel like this one fits a little more skinnier than the other one did, which I like this one way better. 10 out of 10 on this one. Okay, last pair. So this one is a straight leg, and it is in dark wash, and I really love all the jeans that I bought. They all fit me for my height. They fit perfect at the waist. They look great on the booty. Like, they are a 10 out of 10. So, good job, Good American.
Ooh, child. Her and that thumbs up is driving me nuts. It's giving minor. But honestly, that video was boring. Like, there was nothing that would really keep somebody watching, honestly. But I guess she's trying to be an influencer again. We know how that'll turn out. She does this every time her show comes out, y'all. So you're going to have to watch her little ratchet show coming out soon on, what is it, Life After Lockup? Gypsy Rose, I'm a Felon. And my executive producer, her dad, is the Happy Face Killer. Yeah, that's the show right there. Y'all, Y'all already know what I'm thinking. You know what I also thought was kind of funny is she said because she's petite, it's hard to find jeans. Isn't that normally the easier jeans to find? Like, girl, you be lying so much, you just even be lying about finding jeans. Like, girl, you do too much. Like, too much. All right, y'all, let's spin the block on Jip Dip. How's y'all day today? Are we gonna talk about this? No? I'm just wondering. I'm just saying here. I mean, take this how you want. I'm putting it out there. I've seen it. Somebody sent it to me. Again, I'm at work, minding my business. Somebody sent this to me. And, I gotta show y'all. Y'all always say, bring you the tea. To whom I won't name, but I just want y'all to see who put this in. And let's talk about it. I'm sorry for chewing gum in your ear like this. Sorry, y'all. But let's talk about it. Okay, so here someone commented about being autistic. She said it really doesn't affect her IQ, but we tend to become hyperfixated, especially when it comes to those we love. So yes, we need advocacy. And I really wanted people to really understand that I'm at Nicholas GODEJOHN. And I think a lot of people are saying, well, he can make decisions and da-da-da. It's not about that. And I think that people are overlooking where on the spectrum he is, right? And I think that's kind of unfair. But I am excited. March 1st, he is going to speak, and we are all ears to hear it. Right around, we're all ears. We want to hear this. I really hope that this sheds a lot of light. I almost feel like I want him to have a documentary Because if he told the story, you never really know what will happen. But I don't know. I'm just hoping. Okay, I have an update on Nicholas Godejohn. So there was something, emotion response, I believe, on the 22nd, which was last Thursday. I want you guys to look at this paperwork and then we'll talk. Okay, so the public defender's last name is Coyle, but the person CC'd in here is McPherson. I don't know if that's a sign, but my maiden last name is McPherson. I've never met a McPherson. I can't get the job done. Okay, so I am starting to feel like everything's gonna work out. But I also have like a good feeling about this Nicholas Godejohn case. And when I have good feelings, it normally comes to pass. I'm a very like in tune person, and I think he's gonna get justice. I know it seems dim right now, and some people are feeling like, oh, I don't know, but I do think he'll get justice. And like I said before, justice doesn't necessarily mean him out here in these streets. He's likely going to need supervision. Everybody knows this, but he deserves a fair shot. And that is the thing we need to keep in mind. Now, if you haven't signed the petition in the link in my bio, go now, sign the petition for Nicholas Godejohn. We really want him to have his day in court, and we want him to get justice. And whatever justice looks like is what I want him to get. Let them decide, but we want to do the right thing. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye for now. So I don't know who this is for, but I know this is for somebody. I know you're going through something right now and you feel like you're not valued, and that person or people have made you feel like you're not good enough and you're not worth it, but you are. And the best revenge is living well. So, you overcoming what someone is saying or thinking about you, just know your mind is such a powerful thing. And more than half the battle is just overcoming it in your brain. And once you believe that you can do it and you can make it happen, everything will fall into place. It comes to you believing it, taking action, and it will happen. Anything you believe can come to pass. Just believe it. And I know you're going through whatever you're going through right now, but just believe that you can make it happen. No matter how far-fetched or how impossible it is, you can do it. Don't let anybody be your ceilings, because the sky is the limit. I don't know who this was for, but it just was on my heart right now, and I wanted to make sure whoever it's for got this message. Now, y'all know I love me some Lauren. So she did this video about a People magazine interview that Gypsy apparently did. I want y'all to watch this. Drop your thoughts down below and let me know what you think.
Gypsy Rose just opened up about her birth story. She said it was amazing, but some things didn't go as planned. So in the interview, she says, I had started dilating at 34 weeks and 5 days. So my OBGYN was keeping a close monitor on me. So we were having visits every week. So when I went in for, I want to say it was my 35th week, the expectation was that we were going to do an induction day, which would have been January 16th. It was an elected induction because Ken's mom was coming from Austin. She really wanted to be there for the birth. So I'm like, why not? Well, because I was already dilating so much, I didn't make it to my induction date nor my due date. I told y'all that blue bracelet was for Pitocin for induction. Then she goes on to say, thankfully, that was the only little bumpy stuff. At 36 weeks and 3 days, my water partially broke and I went to the hospital. And by the time I got there, I was 5.5, 6 centimeters. They're like, okay, we're delivering. Doctors went ahead and gave me the epidural, had the Pitocin drip, and it went really quickly after that, and I didn't feel a thing. The worst part of the whole birth experience was the numbing injection they gave. You mean the epidural? When push came to shove, I didn't feel anything. No screaming, no nothing, she says. We just pushed, and within 15 minutes, she was born. So her daughter was born a year to the date where she was released from Chillicothe, okay? I really think that she chose her induction date. I really do. I feel like it was a situation where, yes, she's dilating, but it's like we need to do it in the next 3 days, next week. She said she can't wait for her parole to end. Then she goes on, I honestly just feel like getting to watch her grow and getting to see her personality develop over time is the best part of motherhood so far. I read all this stuff and I'm kind of tracking to see what comes next. So it's exciting, the newness of each thing. So this is the story she's pretty much shared. I mean, it is. The only problem is Ken's mom hops on live streams and contradicts parts of the story, like the birth weight. I'm sure Gypsy's just so happy when Ken's mother gets a little, and hops on live streams. So that was the big birth experience, birth story article. It was released today from People. It's so impersonal. Like, give your, at least to your fan, give them something. Give them details. Give them just something other than a generic kind of, went to the hospital, was dilating, had an epidural pushed, and here's the baby.
Y'all, Diddy is in so much trouble that it doesn't even make any sense. There's so much going on. His mom is caught up in this and stuff. I need y'all to watch this. Let me know what you think, because, child.
Diddy and his mom, Janice Combs, were just hit with a new lawsuit. And this lawsuit against Diddy and his mother was filed by the co-founder of Bad Boy Records, Kirk Burroughs. And this lawsuit is alleging that Diddy and Janice Combs were involved in a conspiracy to take over Bad Boy Records and gain 100% ownership from its co-founder. It's not just Janice Combs who's being sued, it's also Diddy, and he's just under James Doe 1 in this lawsuit by Kirk Burroughs. Kirk Burroughs is alleging that defendant Janice Small Combs acted individually and in concert with Kenneth Marsalis and her son Sean Combs, James Doe 1, and lawyer Doe 1, and other unknown co-conspirators. Defendant James Doe 1 is an individual residing in the state of New York. He is a prominent music producer, entrepreneur of Bad Boy Records. And defendant lawyer Doe 1 is an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of New York. He has served as legal counsel to Bad Boy Entertainment and defendant Janice Combs' son, Sean Diddy Combs. Kirk Burroughs co-founded Bad Boy Entertainment alongside defendant Janice Combs and owned a 25% stake in the business. He also served as the Bad Boy Entertainment Chief Operating Officer and General Manager, handling the operational and management responsibilities for Bad Boy. Kirk Burroughs included his General Manager business card with his name on it for Bad Boy Entertainment, and he included photos of his artists and his staff at Bad Boy Entertainment. Kirk Burroughs is alleging that Diddy and his lawyer at the time, Kenneth Marsalis, engaged in criminal activities. And back in 2003, Kirk Burroughs actually tried to sue Diddy and Kenneth Marsalis over this criminal conduct that he's alleging in this lawsuit. But unfortunately, it ended up getting dismissed. Now, he is alleging in May of 1996, Diddy and Kenneth Marsalis entered his office, and Diddy wielded a baseball bat and threatened him with physical violence, demanding that he sign over his 25% ownership interest in and to Bad Boy Entertainment. He said that he was fearing for his life with tears streaming down his face, unable to resist under the circumstances, and signed the documents replenishing his 25% ownership interest in Bad Boy Entertainment. During all of this, Janice Combs was absent from the office, and he said her absence was not normal, as it was customary for her to be in the office every day. After Kenneth Marsalis and Diddy's criminal activities, he called Janice Combs seeking guidance and assistance, and she pretended that she was unaware of the situation. He's saying that he recently found out this was all a lie, and he included a picture from that day in the office. He is alleging that Janice Combs later falsely denied the acknowledgement or involvement in the coercion or fraudulent involuntary transfer, despite directly benefiting from the wrongful acts. Kirk Burroughs alleges that his ownership interest was transferred to Janice Combs, resulting in her getting 100% control of the label. He is alleging that Diddy and the lawyer Kenneth Marsalis acted in concert with Janice Combs to orchestrate the fraudulent involuntary transfer of his ownership interest and concealment of material facts to ensure that he remained unaware to the extent of their conspiracy. Kirk Burroughs explains how close of a relationship that he had with Diddy, and he said that their relationship started back in the early 90s. He was so close to Diddy and his family that they had a family-like relationship with one another. He was even the godfather of Diddy's son, Justin Combs. And he included receipts of all of this. He even included photos of him being at Justin Combs' baptism. He even explained how he had a relationship with Diddy's lawyer, Kenneth Mercedes. Kirk Burrows alleges that he kept being promised equity and property sharing in exchange for his continued dedication to Bad Boy Entertainment. He said that Diddy and Janice Combs assured him that he would receive 25% ownership and a 15% share of all annual profits. But he says that these promises were made in bad faith with no intention of fulfillment. He said in 2001, Diddy allegedly escalated his betrayal and financial sabotage, intentionally interfering with his business relationships and contracts to destroy his ability to generate income. Kirk Burrows alleges that Diddy deliberately obstructed his management contract with Mary J. Blige, an artist who he rescued from financial collapse due to Diddy's prior mismanagement and fraudulent financial dealings. He alleged that Diddy engaged in fraudulent financial schemes, inflating Mary J. Blige's expense accounts by charging unauthorized expenses, fabricated service fees, and luxury purchases under false pretenses. These transactions included charging personal expenses to the artist's accounts, such as designer clothing, private jets, luxury vacations, and unauthorized gifts. He alleges that one of the most egregious examples of this financial fraud that Diddy was involved in was his obsession with Tupac Shakur. He attempted to mimic Tupac's style by purchasing a Versace silk shirt and expensive accessories for himself while falsely expensing these purchases to Mary J. Blige's artist account. Kirk Burrows said, as Mary J. Blige's business advisor, he exposed and corrected these fraudulent transactions and renegotiated her contracts and successfully bought her out of the financial ruin. Mary J. Blige might just be subpoenaed in this case. He says that he was the architect behind Mary J. Blige's resurgence, securing one of her most commercially successful tracks, Family Affair, by negotiating a production deal with Dr. Dre. He alleges as retaliation for his refusal to condone financial misconduct, Diddy and Kenneth Mercedes deliberately orchestrated the termination of his contracts, ensuring that he was completely blacklisted from the music industry. Diddy and his associates interfered with his business deals, intimidated industry executives, and assured that he was excluded from any new opportunities, effectively crippling his career and financial stability. He is alleging that as recently of 2020, Janice Combs contacted him seeking his assistance in creating a historical documentary about the label. He alleges that Janice Combs used his contributions to advance her project, but refused to compensate him or include him in the production, breaching their agreement. During this time, this conversation was just one of many conversations between him and Janice Combs where he questioned her knowledge and involvement with the 1996 stock takeover. As she has done on multiple occasions, at first she initially lied, denying any knowledge or involvement in it. But then he says in 2024, through legal counsel, he discovered that Janice Combs had been lying about her involvement in the forced involuntary transfer of his ownership interest in Bad Boy Entertainment. He is alleging that she is the direct beneficiary over the conspiracy orchestrated by Kenneth Mercedes, Diddy, and others. After Diddy used threats of physical harm and forced him to sign over his 25% shares of Bad Boy Entertainment, Diddy then transferred these to Janice Combs. And what's even crazier, we've even heard people like Gene Deal talk about this, saying that Janice Combs allegedly had 100% ownership of Bad Boy Records when Biggie Smalls passed away. And now you're even going to have people like Mary J. Blige possibly being subpoenaed in this lawsuit. This lawsuit is super long. I will add all of it over on my Patreon at Kadisha Lynn if you're interested in reading through the whole entire thing. But honestly, none of this is looking good for Diddy or his mommy, Janice Combs. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
The judge in the Jayz lawsuit. Now, the Jayz lawsuit, if you're not familiar, Jayz is suing Tony Busby. Tony Busby is the attorney who has brought all of these lawsuits against Diddy for sexual assault. He has also brought a lawsuit, or had brought a lawsuit, against Jayz and Diddy, alleging that they had sexually assaulted a 13-year-old. That lawsuit had then been dismissed. Related to that, Jayz separately filed a lawsuit against Tony Busby, alleging that he was trying to commit extortion as well as defamation. So the judge in that case came out. They were going back and forth. They had some hearings in which they were trying to determine if the case was any good or should go forth or something of that nature. Well, first, he hasn't ruled yet, but he intimated that this ain't extortion, as we have talked about before. Why is it not an extortion? Because the lawyer simply sent you a letter and said, hey, do you want to settle it? That's not necessarily extortion. Now, what's interesting, though, is he made commentary about the defamation and should it be allowed to go in front of a jury. And I thought it was interesting because what he talked about is the actual malice standard, or the gross negligence in bringing lawsuits. And he said, just bringing the lawsuit in and of itself probably doesn't equate to actual malice, that you've done something awful. And then he said, just poorly investigating a case as an attorney does not turn into actual malice or gross negligence. Then he said something interesting. He said, however, when you go on national news and you make the suggestion that I will only bring lawsuits that are properly vetted and properly investigated, that makes the suggestion that you have properly vetted and properly investigated your case, and then later say that I didn't properly vet and properly investigate the case. That might equate to actual malice, and there's a real chance that the lawsuit against Tony Busby can go forward. When we look at lawsuits, these are torts. A tort is a personal injury lawsuit. And so what you need to do is you need to prove duty, breach, causation, damages. Duty. The court is going to say Tony Busby has a duty not to bring frivolous lawsuits. Breach. The judge is saying that if possibly this was actual malice and gross negligence, you have breached that duty. And did the breach of that duty cause damages to Jayz? Jayz has made the comment that it has. People have canceled him. He lost $20 million in contracts. He wasn't able to go to the premiere of The Lion King and feel. He went, but he didn't feel the way he should going with his daughter. So putting all of that stuff together, duty, breach, causation, damages, and the fact that Tony Busby may not have the protection of qualified immunity, or any immunity, or absolute immunity, because the judge may find that he created actual malice. This case could end up going to trial, and if it ends up going to trial, Tony Busby is going to find himself potentially on a stand. Like, the tables have turned, darkness. Do with them what you will. Like, the tables have turned, and now it's not so fun when the rabbit's got the gun. And oh, that nigga jigger is going to be coming after your ass. So it's very interesting, and I love the analysis, because didn't think about it, but the analysis on the court's part. If you went on national news and specifically said, I only bring cases that are vetted and are strong, and then later says, I didn't personally vet it, and I don't know about this case. Ooh, your ass is about to take it. And not that, take that.
You know what time it is. It's Black History Month time. So this next clip, I really love showing you guys because he is a Morehouse alumni, which is a HBCU, and he's a teacher, and he's teaching a class about Black history, and I just love the way he's teaching the students, but I want you guys to watch this. And then after that, I did a video about Black history, the Montgomery boycott, and also how we are implementing that now and what we could do. So let me know how you like it.
Space shuttle like a cool, everybody get in. We going out of space like Major said. Space shuttle like a cool, everybody get in. We going out of space like Major said. Space shuttle like a cool, everybody get in. We going out of space like Major said. What do we got? Where at?
Alabama.
Give me the facts.
In 1992, she was the first African-American woman to go to space.
Right on, right on. And what else? And she served as a mission specialist aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour. Okay, cool. Let a game on me. Let a game on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let a game.
Tomorrow is the day we are showing the power of our dollars. You may not like us, but we all have green money and you want that green cash. Some of you might say, well, Nina, our dollars don't make a difference. Us individually, it's not going to matter whether we spend tomorrow or not. Do you guys know about the Montgomery boycott? It lasted 13 months. This was the most effective boycott we have ever seen. This was the key event in the civil rights movement. Started in December 5th of 1955 and it ended December 20th of 1956. Rosa Parks was a civil rights activist that refused to give up her seat on a segregated bus, and she was arrested, and that was where the Montgomery boycott started. The Montgomery Improvement Association, the MIA, was the one who actually started the boycott. This boycott protested segregation on city buses. This boycott was so successful that the Supreme Court ruled that segregation on public buses is unconstitutional. This boycott showed that you can protest in a nonviolent way, and this led to other civil rights activists being so inspired by this boycott. At the end of the day, money talks, BS walks. My call to action for each and every one of you is to not spend any money tomorrow. Fill up your gas tanks tonight. Do not buy on Amazon, Walmart, anything. Spend no money unless it's local businesses. Let's show the power of our dollars, and we move in numbers. This is the best protest you can ever make because you hit them where it hurts. Your tears or nothing else bothers business people other than your cash. Bye-bye for now.